Is anyone else afraid to go out in public anymore? USA. I've felt this way for quite a while, and especially now after the shooting in Allen, Texas. I don't feel safe going anywhere anymore. I'm not really sure how to process it. I can be shopping for clothes or food in a store, and before I even know what's happening, people around me are getting shot and killed. Both things are true. Real people are being shot and harmed or killed in public, and it's statistically extremely unlikely to happen to you. I'm more worried about driving on the highway in Mississippi than anything else. Between the bad roads and lack of driver's ed, that's by far the most dangerous thing I do daily. I'm not afraid, but I'm definitely more conscious of exits and escape routes. I always pick the aisle seats at the movie now, as dumb as that sounds. I went to a food festival a couple of weeks ago, and a comedy show last night, and was constantly looking around. I don't let fear rule my life, but it's definitely there, in the background, all the time. I am no doctor, but I do think you need to go to a therapist before you develop agoraphobia. Not really. After surviving my first school shooting, I've just accepted that I may die at any point in time. Fear is the point. There are people that seek power through fear, and mass shootings are very helpful for them in that regard. Am I afraid to go out in public? Not really, only because I live in a state with decent gun control laws and live in a town area with significantly lower violent crime rate compared to the rest of the state. Am I feeling really depressed from constantly seeing these events in the news to the point where I wonder, why do I even bother staying informed? Absolutely, and it's not even like I look at the news regularly. TBH, I'm not stopping it from living my life, but I'm really scared for the future, and if I have children, of how to navigate a world where these are becoming more frequent. Stats show it's getting way worse than better, and I'm tired of people saying it will get better when it's not. What's gonna be in 10 years plus advances in technology? We think the AK-47 is bad. What's next? No, but you might want to get checked out for anxiety. I grew up in a very violent developing country. There hasn't been a place here that scared me, but that's me. I don't think there's anything any of us can say that will help. We will either confirm your fears or tell you you're wrong. Find someone to talk to or join some support groups. Honestly, it's in the back of my mind anytime I'm in public. Even though I know it's statistically unlikely, hearing about the wide range of places that this has happened in still makes me concerned. I mean, I get it, but the reality is you're still far more likely to be hurt in a car wreck than the victim of a mass shooter terrorist. If you really want to be afraid of driving anywhere. Not at all. Despite the way the media makes it sound, the vast majority of Americans will never personally witness a shooting in their entire lives. Not afraid. The fact that someone can start shooting any soft target they want is certainly there, but the chances they'll do it where you are when you're there is mathematically not worth thinking about. You're more likely to die on the highway on the way there. You're more likely to choke on your muffin. I wish the odds were zero, but they're so low it isn't worth fretting over. My son has said repeatedly he's never having children because they couldn't send them off to school in the morning not knowing if they would come home. Someone in Dallas traffic flipped me off the other day for no reason and rolled down their window to do it again. I slowed down and made sure I was a good distance behind them because my first thought was hoping he wouldn't shoot me. And I work at a school constantly talking to my coworkers about a game plan in case something happens. It is scary. There's a whole lot of anyone who gets into a car is more at risk here and not enough. Yeah, this is insane. And something needs to be done about it, specifically in terms of gun control, which is wild. We should not have let the assault weapons ban end. No, never. I always feel safe. Been living in the US my whole life. Don't let the media think everything is dangerous or a war zone or you're gonna get shot when you step outside. It's fine. You are more likely to die in a car accident or drowning in a pool than in a mass shooting. Not so much, but my client asked me to bring a wrongly delivered package to the correct address. I did not feel comfortable doing so and denied doing so. It was literally a day or two before the boy was shot for knocking on the wrong door and a few days before those cheerleaders were shot getting in the wrong car by mistake. I feel justified in my refusal to deliver the package. I'm in Florida newly after living in Mass, so I'm paranoid about the gun ownership obsession here. The chance of you being a victim of gun violence is still obscenely low. No, I'm not scared to go outside. No, violence is not worse than it's been in the past. It's just not that scary outside. If you take suicides out of the statistics, cars are more deadly than guns, and it's not even close. If you're worried about going out in public, be more cautious on the drive there than being in the public space. This doesn't mean we shouldn't do something to reduce the incidence of public shootings, but from a risk analysis perspective, you're scared of the wrong thing. I'm not afraid, but I absolutely notice myself looking for all the exits when I first go into any crowded place, i.e. festivals, clubs, concerts. I'm not scared that anything will happen, but I'm cautious to the possibility, something which would not have been true even just 5 years ago. I just find myself looking for escape routes everywhere I go. That's healthy, right? Yep, been this way for years and it's not getting any better for me. I've been finding ways to enjoy my hobbies alone, and it's difficult and depressing, to be perfectly honest. I pay attention to who is around me like fucking radar. I wouldn't say I'm afraid to go out in public, but in public, I'm prepping for a fight. First thing I do when I get anywhere is look for the nearest exit. I'm checking people around me to see if they're carrying anything unusual or acting strange. I keep whoever I'm with within arm's reach. If we're at dinner, or anywhere I'm gonna be sitting for a while, I plan an escape route and backup route in case the first isn't accessible. Going to the grocery store shouldn't feel like I'm planning a combat mission. It's unfucking fathomable people think this is freedom. I would if I lived in the States. I'm from Lake Street, Minneapolis, the last decade. I just moved to Texas this year. When I hear yelling, I flinch. When I smell bonfire, I get scared. Yeah, I'm scared. Of citizens and government. I keep to my fucking self. Stop watching the news. You need a detox. Evolution of the human race is still ongoing, and in modern times people who get caught up in anxiety sometimes caused by too much bad news are becoming unwell and also depressed and suicidal. Detox. Take a break from your phone and screens. Much love, a fellow phone addict. LOL, no. I'm going to get downvoted for this, but if you feel unsafe where you are, please make strides to move to a safer area. It's not good for your physical or mental health. I live in a smaller town and feel very safe and happy. I don't understand all these people feeling safe because you live in a safe state, or a safe area. It's not like you have state walls, or moats around different suburbs. Bad people with guns can and will cross those borders. It's this indifference, this not in my backyard mentality, that is causing all the inaction in terms of gun control, leading to all the violence. No, your chances of being caught up in random violence are near zero. Turn off the news and go outside. It's called agoraphobia, I believe, and it's a mental health issue. You should get therapy to help you cope with your anxiety. Just because bad things do happen, don't mean they will happen to you. Driving is by far one of the most dangerous things we do, but we get in our cars every day without batting an eye. It is why you more likely you will die in your car on the way to the mall, than be shot at the mall. So if you can do one, you can do the other. I wouldn't say afraid, but definitely concerned. I'm certainly staying aware of my surroundings when I'm out and go out of my way to be kind to others. Mostly I'm just sad this keeps happening. I counted 4 shootings yesterday. No. No, not really. I don't know the stats directly, but I think we're living in one of the safest points in human